Have you ever spent hours memorizing facts for a test only to forget everything a week later? You might have passed, but did you actually learn anything? This is the lie we've been sold, that memorizing is learning. But the truth is, most of us have no idea how real learning works. In this video, we are going to dismantle that belief and replace it with something more powerful. We'll uncover 7 misunderstood principles of how the brain actually learns and show you why your current strategy might be holding you back from mastering any skill, subject, or career. Let's begin. Memorization is like taking a photo and filling it away. It's static. You can recall it, but you can't use it. Understanding, on the other hand, is about building a map of how things work. It connects ideas, fills gaps, and helps you apply knowledge to real-life problems. Why this matters? Research shows that memorization without context creates shallow learning. It's why cramming works for tests, but not for life. When you understand, your brain fires up more regions. It links new info to old ideas, processes meaning, and creates durable memories. Instead of highlighting everything or reread notes without thinking, ask yourself, why does this matter? Or how is this connected to what I already know? Daniel Williams' famous line sums it up. Memory is the residue of thought. What you think deeply about is what sticks, not what you glance at. Don't assume watching a video or reading once is enough. Learning requires active engagement. You should summarize what you just learned, draw it, or teach it to someone else. There are two kinds of memory: declarative, which stores facts and knowledge, and procedural, which handles skills and actions. Knowing what is not the same as knowing how. You might know the theory behind swimming, but that doesn't mean you won't sink the first time you jump in. The reason this matters is because schools usually emphasize declarative memory, but most real-life learning is procedural. Procedural memory builds through doing, through practice, through repetition. Don't only study for recognition. Flashcards are great for recall, but don't replace doing the work. Instead, practice skills in context. Speak the language, write the code, or solve the problem. What if being wrong is the fastest way to get smarter? Berkeley researchers found that mistakes trigger learning. Your brain flags errors as high priority and rewires itself to avoid the same mistake again. This is how athletes and musicians train. They fail on purpose to sharpen their edge. You should try first, fail fast, and correct quickly. Don't avoid failure. Avoiding mistakes means avoiding growth. Instead, solve problems before checking the answer. Reflect on what went wrong. There is a difference between saying it and understanding it. Elaborative rehearsal means you don't just repeat facts. You connect them to what you already know. You build stories, analogies, and relationships between ideas. The reason this works is because the brain thrives on meaning. When information is linked to something familiar, it becomes easier to store and retrieve. Instead of repeating, explain why that matters. What does it do? How does it power the body? Use metaphors. Ask, what does this remind me of? Or how could I explain this to a 10-year-old? Don't rely on repetition alone. Cramming is a lie. It feels productive, but it kills long-term retention. The spacing effect proves that learning spaced over time is more effective. It's like watering a plant every few days instead of dumping a bucket once a month. Each time you revisit the information, your brain rebuilds the memory. That process is what strengthens it. Study in intervals: 30 minutes today, review tomorrow, again in 3 days, then in a week. If you just cram the night before, you'll forget 90% by the next week. Real learning means flexibility. When you understand a concept, you can apply it across situations. That's called transfer. Memorized information is brittle. It works only in the form it was taught. But understanding gives you a toolkit to solve new problems. Deep learning activates core principles, not just surface details. Focus on why things work. Look for patterns and general rules. Ask yourself, where else could I use this? And what's the pattern behind this example? Don't just get stuck in isolated drills. Learning should feel like building a puzzle, not stacking flashcards. If you ever thought, I'm just not a good learner, you are wrong. You are just using the wrong method. Memorizing is for machines. Understanding is for humans. And when you start learning how to learn, everything changes. You become more confident, more capable, more free. So next time you pick up a book, a course, or a challenge, ask yourself, am I just trying to remember this, or do I actually understand it? Because the real learners, the ones who grow, create, and lead, they don't memorize facts, they transform them.